Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about how you can add two numbers. Just as basic as that, how you can add two numbers, like the way we are being taught in primary school, in secondary school. What is 2 plus 2, what is 2 plus 5, what is 10 plus 10. We are going to be doing that. We are going to be showing you that in JavaScript code. So this is just simply how you can add two numbers in computer language. Yeah, so the first thing we are going to do now is that we are going to write a function that will make us add two numbers. So sorry, I didn't zoom in. So what I did here was that I let me zoom in. What I did was I wrote a function, and the name of that function is add two numbers. So it can be any function. So and what is a function? A function, they are like set of instructions you want your computer to do. They are basically like set of instructions you want your computer to do. So it's more like a behavior. So it's like they are sending me on an errand, and they are telling me to go and buy beans. You know, it's a behavior I'm doing, and the behavior is me going on an errand. That's the name of the behavior. But in this name of this function, instead of me going on an errand in the illustration I used, in this one we are doing, the name of this function or behavior or set of instruction is that I wanted to add two numbers, and the point of this parameter is that I need a parameter. I need something. It's like you send me on an errand and you don't give me money. You don't give me money. You just tell me to go and buy spaghetti, to go and buy beans, to go and buy rice, and you don't give me money. So I need money to be able to carry out my function. So in this case, I need number one and number two to be able to carry out my function, because I cannot add two numbers without these two parameters that are here. I hope we all understand the basic illustration I just made. So the next thing we're going to do now is that I'm going to write in const, then I write in sum, and I write in number 1 plus number 2. Sorry, number 2. So the point is I created a variable. So I want in the variable I wanted that I can add these two numbers, because this is the behavior I want this function to perform. So I'm adding these two numbers. So the point is, inside your function you have this logic, and the logic is add two numbers, which I am doing. Number one, which is here, and number two, which is here. So you just add the two numbers. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to um, I'm not going to return I'm going to return I'm going to return sum. I'm going to return sum because as I've added the two numbers, I need to return the sum of these two numbers. So the sum of the two numbers will be returned. So the next thing, now this is what in JavaScript, when you see curly braces like this, we call them block of code. So inside this block of code, inside this function, this is the behavior that is this is the behavior that is happening. Number one plus number two is the behavior that is happening. So I hope you will understand, because I remember I told you that let me just go back. I want to send maybe they want to send me on an errand, that kind of a thing, right? I need money, so money is more like the parameter. Then I can write send. Let me so I can write send errand. So send errand is like my function. Then money is like my parameter, because without money I cannot I cannot go on an errand. I cannot buy beans. I cannot buy this kind of thing. So in the logic, is probably this is where I have, maybe they gave me 1,000 naira, and they told me to buy beans of 200. They told me to buy rice of 300, and I have 1,000. So this is where, so the logic goes into my head. So I break down my process. Okay, how do I want to do it? Do I buy beans first? Okay, when I buy beans, she doesn't have change. She has change. I keep the change, and any part of that change, I use it to buy rice, that kind of a thing. Then I know that I've returned the sum. This is like I've returned the remaining parts of the change. I hope we all understand what I am saying, and I hope what I am saying really makes sense. I hope it's something we can relate. So let me go back to what we were doing before. So now, the next thing we are going to do now is that, because we want to know the two numbers that we are going to add, I'll now declare a variable. So I can declare it with lets, I can declare it with const, whichever one. Because in this instance, I declared it with const. So I can just say const number one equals to 20, right? Let's say I want to add use 20. The way in, okay, let me just continue. Const number 2 equals to 50, no, 70. The way in our secondary school mathematics, when they tell us let x equals to this, let y equals to this, it's not too far from what we are doing. So I can easily, okay, let me even just put let, so that it's easy for some of you to understand if you don't know what I am saying. So I can say let x equals to 20, let number 2, let y equals to this, that kind of a thing. So I'll now create another variable. So I'll create this variable. So what do I want to name my variable? I can name my variable sum of numbers equals to the name of the function. What's the name of my function? Add two numbers. So num1, then num2, num1, num2. So in this instance, right, this variable is the storage house. Remember, in my previous video I made emphasis that the variable is like the one storing things, so this variable is storing this function that is here, and this function, inside this function the logic has already been operated. So inside this function, this when I mean inside, you can see this block of code. So inside this function the logic has already been operated. That is number 1 plus number 2. So this function is not just me just writing add two numbers. There's already a logic in this function, so these numbers are already added. So once I do console.log, right, in brackets, and I put sum of numbers, I can assure you that 20 plus 70 would have been added, and you see 90. So let's just go straight to our console. So I'm going live. So I'm going to go to insert, and I'm going to click on console, and there we have it. Can you see 90? And there, let me even just show you. Apart from this function, I wrote function like this. There are different ways in which you can write function. This is like the basic way in which you can write function. You can also write function like this. Okay, let me know. I don't want to cancel it so that it doesn't confuse, but let me just comment it out so you'll see what I'm going to do. So another way of writing function is like this. So I'll just do add. I can do add two numbers, then I can do it like this as well, and I can now write the logic that I wrote. So I can say consum equals to num1 plus num2, return sum, right? Return sum. and I put num1 here, I put num2 here. Okay, let me put yeah, I put num2 here. So I can assure you now that if I check the console, you still see 90. So let me change this to 10. You will see 30. Yeah, so that's just basically how you can add two numbers. So you create, this one I did here, this name of this function is called arrow function. So as you can see here, arrow function, this is like the modern way in which software engineers that are into JavaScript, this is the way they usually write their function. They write their function like this. This is like the basic and old way, which is still valid, of writing your function. So that is basically how you can add two numbers in JavaScript. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please remember to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.